for another hole?
Yeah, I think we could go a bit further out because
maybe we should
moving out.
Then we can try doing it without changing the pumping speed.
So we're gonna go every 10 millimeters? Okay. Is that what you said? Or
yeah, 10's fine.
is close?
Just turn it around. Okay, tighten it up. Well, we were doing a series of strength tests, and there's a number of ways to do the strength test, but we did them in a 15-centimeter hole drilled in the ice. That's 60, and then that's 30. Why don't you just put it out there? Okay. The strength values are used for determining the relative continuity and strength of the ice and the scattering strength over a fairly large area. They're particularly useful for verifying that floating ice roads, etc., are suitable for the intended purpose.
Whoever's pumping should keep pumping.
All the time?
And you catch the readings as they go by.
And
what we do is, I guess we'll go through that now, is at least for the first part of the test, we're going to use this outside scale, which is kilopascals.
The 10,000 scale?
Yeah, in fact, all you have to do, it can use megapascals, so we're going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 like that, okay?
Okay.
So you'll have a column with the pressure, and then another column with the resistance from this thing.
Right. Right.
So when you hit 2 megapascals, yell it out, somebody takes the reading and somebody writes it down.
From here, okay.
You know, things like ice roads are used all over the northern hemisphere. They're used in Alaska, Canada, Scandinavia, Russia, etc. Oil companies, mining companies use them. Pulp and paper companies use them for crossing rivers, etc.
80. We were at 80.
Yeah.
So now we're at.
They have certain rules. They say, I have this much load, I need this much ice, and so they go ahead and most of the time they check the ice thickness to make sure they have it, and then they do the work. What pressure did you get? 9. 9? Yeah. Well, at 30 below, it would have just exploded. And flaked out ice, and the jack would have fallen out.
The hole's full of brine.
Yeah,
Because we only went down quarter way. See, so there's a lot of brine in that ice, which wouldn't be there if it was colder. But this stuff, Ohio, and said it's at -2. Well, that's just 0.2 of a degree from the melting temperature. First of all, you have to decide whether the ice will ever get thick enough for what you need to do before the winter's over. So if you have an operation which requires 2 months of trucking, and it requires an ice thickness which nature won't put there until the last week of the winter before you have to be gone, then that won't work.